Okay. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Hunter edition of Morning Scone. Represented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions and ProCharge EV. Hope y'all are having a great start to your day. Good to be back home. Back in the chair for AFR today. Lots of meetings today, but still good fun day today. With a lot to talk about. Of course, I do want to catch up today on all the things that I missed. Like I want to talk about Jamar Cain leaving LSU. I want to talk about what's next. I want to talk about some of the Dennis Allen meeting with the media yesterday. I know Musa did a good bit of that yesterday on AFR, but I want to get to a lot of that. If you're checking the description there, a couple things that are percolating today. LSU beats Grambling, run rules them last night. If you watched or listened, I thought Hunt Palmer did a really good job on the broadcast. Hunt was the color analyst on the game last night, and he made a great point. You could look at LSU facing a team with a starting pitcher throwing between 70 and 75 miles an hour. It's just atrocious to watch. And you say, well, what's the point in doing that? There's one point in particular, which is, and he said this on the broadcast, he's right. The SWAC champion gets a regional bid. And you've seen those SWAC champions come to the box before. Southern's come to the box. Jackson State's come to the box for regionals. There's a chance you see a team like that in regional play with a lefty throwing 75. And it helps to have seen it. So anyway, 17-5 was the final. Saw some changes in that starting lineup. Dylan Cruz somehow increased his batting average. He was 2 for 2 last night with a walk. No, I'm sorry, 2 for 2. Yeah, with a walk. So he's up to 542 now. A couple of other things that are worth mentioning. I'll talk about the pitching in a second, but Cade Beloso last night was 2 for 3 with 4 RBI, hit a 3-run homer. His batting average is up to 538. He's got to be in the lineup. Now, there may be a time where if you're facing a lefty, you want to put a right-handed bat in the lineup, but his home run yesterday came off a lefty. So I can understand, if there's a spot where you feel like you want to load up with righties. The problem is I don't know what extra right-handed bat you put in the lineup. Kling would be the most obvious. So you put Kling in the outfield. Pearson didn't play last night, but if you want Kling and Pearson in the outfield and Morgan goes to first, then you DH either Jones or Beloso, so you got to make your decision there. But that's an option. But so Beloso, I thought it was great to see him continue to hit. I mean, at the homer, and then he hit a single back up the middle. I mean, he just keeps hitting the ball. And how about Alex Milazzo? Got the start last night, was 2 for 2 with a walk. He's batting 400 on the season. And I know that this is something we've talked about for a couple of years here, mentioned it here, it's worth mentioning it again. Milazzo, great defensive catcher. Knock on him was he was always an out. He worked very hard before last season with Terrio on his approach to the plate, and had made a lot of headway and then was injured and basically missed the whole year. And now you're starting to see it manifest. So good for him. Christian Little got the start, went 2 innings. It was very obvious what they were doing with Christian Little. They were just trying to, it's one thing when you come out of the bullpen in a late game scenario, runners on base, you're pitching out of the stretch immediately, you're inheriting a tough situation. This was, take the ball to start the inning, nobody on base, you're out of the windup, just go throw strikes. And by and large, he did that. Walked 1 in 2 innings. He did strike out 4. He gave up 1 hit. Was actually the first batter of the game. And he got him down, got him in a 2-strike count. But gave up the knock. But anyway, Um, it was good to see Christian Little get back out there and pitch well. I don't think it was his sharpest stuff, but he was able to overpower some Grambling hitters who weren't used to seeing, you know, mid upper 90s. Blake Money, 2 innings, 2 walks, a couple of hits, 3 runs. Seems like every time Blake Money goes out there, he's going to give up a homer. We got to see Sam Dutton as well, who struck out 4. That was sharp, but got hit a little bit too, gave up 3 hits. And they finished off. Bryce Collins came in and pitched the first batter of the 7th, got a strikeout, and they lifted him and put in Micah Bucknam, who finished it off. So, all in all, got a win, did what you needed to do, got to rest some guys you wanted to rest before Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Now turn the attention to Tennessee. Pels lost last night. Incredible. They were up 17 at half. They led by as many as 20, and they let Golden State come back and beat them. So that is a bummer. They had won 5 in a row. First time they were playing the Warriors with Steph in like 2 years. And that would have been a great opportunity to sort of plant your flag, right? And for what it's worth, Golden State is in the 6th seed, so they're in the last spot in the playoffs, and the Pels currently are 8th, a game and a half behind Golden State. So you could have made up you lost a full game on Golden State last night. So you could have in essence flipped that and been just a half game behind. So hey, bet. You're a game away from being outside of the play-in. You're a game and a half away from being in the 6th seed and not having to worry about the play-in. So margin is thin right now for the Pels as they come down the home stretch. Okay, let's say some good morning, see what y'all got. True Axe, what's up, man? Brett McMasters, good morning. Jeremy Sagely, gotta love this San Antonio traffic, okay. Kelly Gross, Eric Hart, good morning. Miss seeing you at the fair Saturday. Yeah, man, I popped in. I was just later. Talking about the St. Jude Fair. I was there just after I had the Down Syndrome Awareness Group walk. I emceed that. Then went straight from there to New Orleans Flooring for their event, and then from there to the St. Jude Fair. So I was there just a little later. But great turnout, man. Thankfully, the weather cooperated better than they thought it would, right? Deborah Cowart, Ryan Amanda Guidry, Jeff McKithen, good morning. Let's see, Dale, this team has an abundance of bats, incredible talent. Depth is pretty incredible. I mean, think about it like this. Not just bats, but also the arms. I mean, guys like Josh Stevenson, who was a really good player for you yesterday in the second half of the year, can't get on the field. Jack Merrifield is a good player, team guy. He played last night in, I think he had a pinch hit, AB. I'll close up the box score. But you're talking about guys who are, Gavin Guidry was the number 1 player in Louisiana. Could barely get on the field. You've got so much depth and so much talent on this roster. But, to his credit, Jay was very clear with those guys. Some of the guys who came back, you're going to have to win a job. And it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment of riches what this team has. Pistol Pete Movie, good morning. Quentin Breakbill, good morning. Michael Cook, good morning. Trivia Carter, Damon Gilmore, Jason H., what's going on, y'all? Hunter Broadhead, good morning. Bubba Tatum, another run rule game full of cha-chings. Can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, man. Skeens Dolander on Thursday for LSU, Tennessee. Excited about that. Should be a really fun weekend. Of course, you got the Lady Tigers, or the women's basketball team. I don't think they go by Lady Tigers anymore, but the women's basketball team on Friday night against Virginia Tech in the Final Four. And, LSU football spring practice really ramping up. Pro Day is today. LSU football Pro Day is today. And then they're back on the practice field tomorrow. We'll get to chat with Brian Kelly after that. And then Saturday they practice, and we get to talk to Mike Denbrock after that. So, fun time. Definitely a fun time this spring. Cade Mayu, good morning. Since you have become a sneakerhead, have you gotten Drew some new kicks as well? Actually, yes. And then he had a growth spurt, they don't fit him anymore. I hit on a Panda dunk drop from the Nike app, a month ago or so, 6 weeks ago. For me and him, we had matching dunks, and he wore them one time and he grew. But he's got I think 3 pair of Air Force Ones as well. So yeah, we got him some stuff. Leon Williams, good morning. How's the fam? We're good, man. Thank you. Wendell Norman, Brant Roban, how you feeling about Little still being a closer? Did he find his command last night? I think it is very fair to ask the question if you're still okay with Little being the closer. And if they get into that situation, what's interesting is the final game of the weekend, this past weekend, they brought in Riley Cooper in the ninth of game 3. Now, it wasn't a safe situation, but they brought him in to get the final outs of the game. And I'm wondering if, look, I think it's very clear that last year, Riley Cooper, Eric Razelman were your 2 high leverage guys. I think it's pretty clear right now Garrett Edwards is that. He's the guy they trust first out of the bullpen. You need him in a spot, he's the guy. I'd say Chase Shores is in that conversation as well. But Shores may be a guy that you want starting on the weekend before the season over if Thatcher Hurd continues to struggle. But I guess my point is you've had Cooper in some leverage situations, and maybe he's a guy that you can give the ball to in the ninth and say, go. He's an unconventional closer, right? If he were that role. But, I think you can... Maybe it's situational, to your question. Bring it. Maybe it's a thing where if a team is loaded up with righties coming in the ninth, you can go to Little. If it's a situation where you want a situational lefty at the end of the game, you can bring in Riley Cooper. I think all of that is on the table. Stephen Miller, good morning. Back in the friendly confines. Yes, sir. Good to be home. Covey Rise was beautiful, y'all. Covey or Covey, I don't know if they say Covey Rise or Covey Rise, but in Hustler, Louisiana, so you take the Robert exit and you go about 30 minutes north. Beautiful property up there. It's a hunting lodge for your sports, like clay shooting and all that sort of stuff, but beautiful up there. The cabins are gorgeous. The weather was beautiful, and the food was great. So I had a great time, man. Got some work done. Jason H. Bad News Birds blew a 20-point lead to lose the game. Yes, they did. And that was disappointing. And the other thing, too, I don't know if y'all watched that game, but it was on TNT, and I don't know why, but the game was being broadcast in Spanish. And it sounded like the broadcasters were not there on site at the Chase Center. It sounded like they were like at their home, and they were just laying that broadcast over the Warriors Pelicans, which was kind of annoying. But yes, they rallied from 20 down. It's very disappointing. Very. And now, and I'll tell you this for New Orleans, it was the second of a back-to-back, and you were playing the defending champs on the road, where they rarely lose. But to have the big lead and lose it really sucks. So you get Denver tomorrow. It's a late tip. It's 9 o'clock. So actually the LSU baseball game will probably be over, and I catch the second half of that one tomorrow, which I probably will do. Then you get the Clippers at home, who you've really had success against. Sacramento, it's fair to ask, what will Sacramento be playing for when they're here? You get Memphis at home, same question. You get the Knicks at home, and then you're at Minnesota. So 6 games to go. It's 6 games to go. See if Denver's locked up the 1 seed yet. Nope, they haven't. Denver and the Grizzlies are 1-2. They've clinched playoff spots, and Sacramento is 3. Denver's 3 games ahead of Memphis. So, you'd have to play the top 3 teams in the West remaining, and 4 of the top 5, because you play the Clippers as well, and then Minnesota. So 5 of the top 7. But it is fair to ask, like, what are those teams going to be playing for when you play them? Will they be resting guys for the playoffs? Smash that like button if you would there on YouTube. Appreciate that. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Read rule FYI, thanks to your show, my YouTube thinks I'm a pastry chef. Scone recipes, reviews, and British people. Excellent. Stephen Miller, in recent years past, LSU has struggled on midweek lower tier teams. Law struggled. Man, this team is obliterating midweek teams this year. It's very reminiscent of the 2013 and 2015 seasons, where they didn't lose a midweek game all year. What did the 2013? What did they like? 48-8 or something like that. So after the postseason and everything, they finished 57-11. They were 0-2 in the College World Series. 2013 was 57-11. It was crazy. They were 23-7 in conference play. One of the best teams that we'll never remember because they lost in Omaha. Brad David, can Kayshawn make it up at Pro Day, or is his poor performance combine already done? No, Brad, you can turn heads. If he's healthy and in shape. I just don't know if he is. We'll see today, and I'm pulling for him. But, I don't believe he ever got right last year after the broken ankle. I just don't think he was as explosive, and he was a little heavy. So hopefully he's in great shape and does well today. Brian Wynn, good morning. Jay Reach, never thought I'd see Milazzo hitting 400. Small sample, but yes, he deserves it. And I think I shared this with y'all before, but he went and worked with Terrio over at Traction, and the thing that they worked on was letting the ball travel and going up the middle and to right field, going up the middle and the other way. So when you notice, now Milazzo did hit one, he kind of pulled one into left field yesterday, but when you watch him bat, he's letting the ball travel and he's going up the middle and the other way. He's it's been impressive to watch, and he's going to make himself a lot of money if he's able to keep that up. Antron Hemingway, morning Matt, did Brian Kelly find our new defensive coordinator? Because I heard the old one left. You might be talking about defensive line coach with Jamar Cain. And no, they've not hired a new defensive line coach yet. But Jamar Cain is leaving for Denver Broncos. Sean Payton hired him away. That happened very quickly. Weston Weaver, morning Matt, 2 questions. With the Panthers' new additions, are the Saints still picked to win the South? What's the run rule record for a team? How close is LSU? I don't know what the run rule record is in like all of college baseball, Weston, but LSU's already gotten their own record. I looked this up several weeks back. They've already set the record for run rules in a season by an LSU team. By the way, I'm not sure if y'all saw, but there's a Baton Rouge native, former Dunham Tiger, who has spent his college career in the SEC. That would be Jordan Wright from Vanderbilt, who yesterday announced he was entering the transfer portal. I believe it's been at least a solid month now that your friendly, bald-headed, bearded afternoon drive radio host has been telling you that he thought Matt McMahon would really target local guys in the transfer portal. Sometimes I tell y'all that I'm telling you the story without telling you. And he ain't going to be the last one. Tim Gotro, hey, Dad, good morning. Trivia Carter, game coin update. As a matter of fact, Trivia Carter, I have an 8 a.m. call with one David Mailer. So 4 minutes from right now with Mailer and Hunter Torito from X Design about a game coin statement that will go out this week. We promised y'all Q1. So we will be putting out a statement. And very, very excited about it. Reagan Lee, how likely Jordan Wright is a Tiger? I'll put it to you this way, Reagan. If Jordan Wright is not an LSU Tiger, I will be fall over stunned and floored. I'll be very surprised. And by the way, he's not the only one. I'll say it again. He's not the only Louisiana guy who went and played college basketball elsewhere that's coming back. Kelly Presley, good morning. Patrick McKenzie, good to have you back on AFR today. Thank you, Patrick. I'm looking forward to being back. Craig Duga, looks like Taylor made a JT Mellick pick ball. Okay. Hot Rod, what's going on, man? Just an old blind squirrel trying to find a nut. Darren Reeves, good morning. James Puhol, Eddie Word on the Lefty Coleman. No, and thank you for asking. I know someone asked me that last week, and I just have not. I was gone this week, and I've not had an opportunity to follow up, but I will absolutely do that. Craig Duga, 4 years ago, the General had us marching to madness in only his second season. Poor Craig. Trey Potan, Bart St. Germain. I do not understand why Neal is starting catcher in SEC play. Milazzo is the better defensive catcher, hitting the ball better than Neal. Why is Milazzo not starting on weekends? Bart, if Milazzo keeps hitting the way he is, that he may start to get more looks in SEC play. I think Neal offensively has the higher ceiling. Keep in mind, last Friday you're playing game one, and it was Neal who hit the tying homer in the eighth inning. So, again, larger sample size. It's going to be harder to maintain a high average. But Neal's been very good, man. He's been very good. Okay, but as far as a defensive catcher, I don't think there's much of a comparison. Anyway. Lee Manning, good morning. Tough loss by the Birds. Let's see. Right. All y'all think we're done. Stephen Miller, the Creole Bambino, Cade Beloso has been cooking at the plate this season. Rim shot. I'll see myself out. All right, dude. All right, y'all have a great day. I gotta go. I'm hopping on this game coin call, and I gotta get Drew up and ready to go to school. So, y'all have an awesome day. Appreciate y'all for being there. AFR 3. Peace.